I just want to know why Virgil over JT? If you have to.
Just everything about him is better. Every single possible metric of being a human about Virgil van Dijk is better than John Terry. He's faster, stronger, he's more skillful on the ball. He's just got an aura about him. He's gorgeous. Apparently he smells great as well. That comes from Troy Deeney, not from me, by the way.
How you doing, boys? All right? Lewis? How you doing, Paul?
Hello, mate.
Welcome.
How are we?
Right, bro.
To a very important debate. Lewis, as the home team, who are you going to be representing and what era are you going to be debating today?
I'm going to be going for Chelsea 04-05, Jose Mourinho's side, 95-point winning team, and the team with the least goals conceded in Premier League history.
Well, okay, all right. And Paul, who are you going to be representing?
A better team, Jurgen Klopp's 1920 title-winning team, the one that ended the 30-year wait and finished that season as the reigning English, European and world champions.
You've got facts. You've got facts. Now, we're going to start with a big position already. We're going front three. We're going right wing, a very important position for both teams. Lewis, we're going to start with you as you're the home team for this match. Who's your right winger?
For me, I'm going to go for Arjen Robben. Didn't see a lot of him throughout the season because of injuries as always, but when he played, he was absolutely electric. I call him the Eden Hazard before we had Eden Hazard. Managed to still rack up a player of the month and end up in the Premier League team of the season, even with the limited game time that he had. On ability alone, for me, I think you can have a debate over Robben versus Salah.
Nope. Can't. It's Mohamed Salah. I mean, the guy was an absolute goal machine and an assist machine. He is arguably the best player that's going to go into this team. I just don't see how we can have a debate. In fact, there's one of several positions where I feel there is literally no debate to be had.
But Robben was also viewed as one of the best wingers in the league that season too.
Yeah, a winger, and he was fine. And I'm not saying I thought Arjen Robben was absolutely fine, but there's a temptation with him to think about what came after in his career, and people think about, Bundesliga Robben, and people think about all the longevity of his career and how he tormented defences for years and years and years and years and years. That was not this Robben. This was just a young kid starting to make his way at the top level.
No, Robben at that time was unbelievable. Even the limited time he did play.
But he wasn't even his best season for Chelsea. And that's the point about this. And this is, granted, not even Mohamed Salah's best season for Liverpool, but still miles better than what Robben was able to produce that season. It's fair. I like Robben. I think he's a good player. Not that Robben, not versus that Salah.
No, for me, I could maybe concede the left side a little bit more, but for me, I have to go fight for Robben on the right.
Right. So okay, well, we'll come to that in due course. So it's a hill you're going to die on.
Yes.
Is an Arjen Robben who played, what?
If we're talking on the ability,
half of a season.
If we're talking longevity through the season, I think Salah does get it. If we're talking about the ability of both players,
and goal return and assist return.
The goal return you can have.
And assist return.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but ability on the ball.
So what we're just
saying
is he was fitter for the entirety of the season. He scored more goals and he made more goals. But
I'm not winning this one, am I? No, okay, cool. That's fine.
I've got to be honest with you. He's kind of got the facts, and I think realistically, I don't think that I can say that Arjen Robben is better than Mo Salah, who arguably one of the best forwards in Premier League history. Not my favourite, but he's up there. And for the sake of this debate, Paul, I'm awarding that one to you, mate.
Wonderful stuff, easy pickings.
Now, I kind of feel like we kind of knew it was going to go that way. Let's mix it up a little bit and let's go for the striker. Paul, who would you saying? If we say striker, sort of direct down the middle.
It has to be Roberto Firmino.
Yeah.
I understand this is very much. I think this is one of the really interesting debates here, because I think everyone knows who Lewis is going to go for. I think there's an obvious shout here, but Roberto Firmino for me, in terms of knitting it all together, he's one of those players who I think in years to come people will look back on him in like the same vein as people look at Dennis Bergkamp and people look at these like genius footballers that we were lucky enough to have graced the league.
It's a strong word. Genius is a strong word.
He had genuine genius of a footballer, and I've seen a few at Anfield over the years, and he definitely ranks up there. I understand the obvious criticisms of him. Didn't score enough goals for number 9, but I mean, look, modern football, how many great goal scoring number 9s are there? And to be honest, I'm not sure what Lewis is going to present is someone who was that either, to be perfectly honest.
Completely fair, but I think it's a similar argument with Firmino and Drogba, where it's two players that were really good on the ball. They had the technique. I'd say Drogba was more of a bully in terms of the fact that he could absolutely destroy defenders.
Oh God, he used to tear up against Liverpool every single time he played. Though, even going back to Marseille, hated playing against Drogba.
He still was a brilliant player in terms of his link-up play, in terms of his hold-up play. He still turned up in big games for us, like we used both legs against Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals as an example of that. Obviously, like, his best was still yet to come, but as a player, he was still instrumental in us winning the league and dominating through the season.
Yeah, I think this, for me, like, kind of looking at where the positions are, it is one of the most difficult, because I do like Bobby Firmino as a footballer. You have put both very good arguments. I'm going to give it to Chelsea, though. I'm giving it to Drogba. If I have to choose, if I have to choose, when it comes to the link-up play and what he provides, I know Firmino does give that, but I disagree. So arguably another very important position, the left wing spot. Lewis, it's your turn to go first again. Who are we having at left wing for Chelsea?
No, I'm not winning this one, and it's fine. But we're not going to use it to disrespect Damien.
Do you want to try and make the case for Robin again over on this side?
No. If anything, I think Mane was probably better for you guys in that season over Salah, so it's an even harder debate to make. But again, we're not going to disrespect Damien Duff. Unbelievable winger in his time. Again, one of the best in the league, and was pivotal for us in 04-05 as well. But I know I'm not winning this one, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, you said it already. Sadio Mane, absolutely unstoppable for Liverpool that season. We had a little bit of a saying going around Liverpool fans that nobody wanted to win the league more than Sadio Mane. I think there's 4, maybe 5 absolute nailed-on, debateless positions for Liverpool players, and this is the second of them after Salah for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest with you, I pretty much had the red counter in my hand for this one.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think no matter what was said, that was going to happen.
Can we just have a little word though for the lack of Idaho Johnson reference in this one? Because in terms of goals and goals created,
would you put him down as a striker?
He doesn't get in.
Would you put him down as a striker? I would consider Idaho Johnson to be a striker.
I'd have honestly said he's better than his output was better than Drogba's that season. So
really?
No, the output probably was, but I think Drogba still played more games, and I think overall was still a little bit better. But we do deserve to give Good Johnson the shout out as well.
And I think that's a fair point, and that puts us nicely into the next debate, and I'm sure this is going to get very, very, very interesting. We have got the midfield three. Now, it is your turn to go first, Paul. I kind of guess we're just going to go for the best 3 midfielders. So who do you want to start with in kind of... If we go for a central midfield role, let's say that.
Yeah. The big question in this is that where are we putting Lampard? So where's the Lampard position? Which one are we pre-agreeing? Because as much as I would love to, and there was a little part of me like, can I make a strong case against them? There's no Liverpool midfielder there who comes close to touching, and it would undo every argument I've made previously in terms of output. Ridiculous. Chelsea top goal scorer, assists galore as well. For me, I think there's definitely one spot up for grabs because Chelsea's weak link there is Thiago.
Right.
A man so forgettable that I actually, when writing it out before, I put an H in his name and I had to Google who he was.
Yeah, I will also say we were having a little chin wag at the start, and Thiago's mentioned. I was like, oh, hang on a minute. It took me a second. Yeah.
Nobody remembers he existed.
So I tell you what we will do, and I think this is a shout, is so we can have a proper fight, should we say, about the other two. I'll just do that, and we'll put Frank Lampard.
Can we not put him in DM? Sorry,
okay,
I need the DM spot for later.
I don't know if the DM is. I think we can just have, say, 3 midfielders. But if we want to do it that way, we can do centre mid DM. But I think there's no point wasting time with Lampard. We know he's going to be in there.
No, I would switch these. I'd have Jordan Henderson right at the midfield 3 if I was being picky over it, to be honest. Football Writers Player of the Year in 1920 as an absolutely stellar season for us. Brilliant human being, brilliant footballer, a bit unfashionable as a footballer, but again, his peers and the football writers recognised how good a player he was that season. I think if you compare, I'm putting him up against Thiago, and there's no contest there. Respect
to Thiago, a great defensively minded midfielder, but I understand it as well. Henderson has to go, and that was his standout season for Liverpool. It's not really fair to debate it, so yeah, I could concede that one easily too.
Do you know what? You two are not fighting too hard at the moment.
I think the fights come the further back.
I know. Trust me. I know.
These are not counters. These are mines.
No.
This is a minefield.
I'm aware of what's coming. So I believe, even though we've conceded, I do agree with you. Henderson did have an absolutely fantastic season. Peak Jordan Henderson. I can't argue with that. In he goes. Thank you very much. So. I guess we're going to call this the DM position because I know you guys are sure.
There is another name for it, isn't there? And this is where I feel I might be in a spot of bother because what is the other name for this position?
Position. Which is why I feel like this argument already speaks for itself, but Claude Makelele literally revolutionised that position. And we can talk about Lampard's importance in the midfield, but we also need to talk about Claude Makelele's importance as well, being able to screen the back line and being able to push the ball forward and start attacks. And the reason why we were so good going forward as well is because we could rely on Makelele every single time there was a counter-attack. So for me, it has to be Makelele, no debate.
I will make the case for Fabinho because I think, again, this is the struggle with any of these kind of things when there's just enough of a gap between these two teams. The style of football and how football has moved on. I'm not sure Makelele is anywhere near as good in the modern Premier League as he was as effective there. I think Fabinho is, Liverpool call him like the lighthouse in their team. He's the thing around everything revolves in that side. But look, again, I will leave this to you because I will defend Fabinho to the nth degree. I think he's absolutely sensational. I think he's the best DM in the Premier League, but it's very hard, and in fact, it's basically impossible to argue against the guy who defined an entire position. Nostalgia is a huge, powerful factor. And I can see how that's going to hamper my case ever so slightly. It's
a tough one for me because I was very sort of strong on Makelele, but Paul, you did put up some fantastic points about Fabinho. But just because of the fact that he defined the role, I've got to give this one to Lewis, and I've got to give it to Makelele, mate. It was tougher than maybe it should have been. You did put up some good points. But that's what we're going to go for. Now, I'm guessing things are going to start to get a little bit interesting because we're going to talk centre-backs. Now, Lewis, you are the home team, so once again, I'm going to let you go first this one. We're going to kind of do it as a pairing. I'm going to let you sort of put up a discussion for two centre-backs. Who are we going for? I'm sure I can guess one of them.
See, here's the thing. I completely understand the ability and how good Van Dijk was in 1920. I really do not want to sugarcoat that because then it's just going to come across as delusional. Van Dijk was unbelievable through that season. John Terry and Carvalho, however, conceded the least goals in Premier League history, and nobody has even come close to that ever since. So I think John Terry already walks into it, even though you could make an argument that Carvalho was probably better than him in that season anyway. So personally, I want to be brave and I want to go for both spots. I want Carvalho and JT.
How do you respond, Paul?
Wow. I think Virgil van Dijk is a generationally talented footballer. I think Carvalho was just another really good centre-half at the time. When you ask people to list the best Premier League centre-halves of all time, his name doesn't come in the top 5 unless you're a Chelsea fan.
What I want to know, see, this is the thing I want to know. If I'm going to be dead honest here, I think we know that for me it has to be VVD JT. I can't put, I'm sorry, as much as you want to say about Carvalho.
I was going to make the debate.
No, of course, cool. and I accept it, but I'm sorry, I cannot put Ricardo Carvalho, no matter how good you say he was in that season, ahead of Virgil van Dijk. I can't do that. If we were to put what I kind of want to know is who we're going for. If we've got to say put one of the two, VVD or John Terry, if it could only be one of them, I just want to know why Virgil over JT. If you have to.
Just everything about him is better. Every single possible metric of being a human about Virgil van Dijk is better than John Terry. He's faster, stronger, he's more skillful on the ball. He's just got an aura about him. He's gorgeous. Apparently he smells great as well. That comes from Troy Deeney, not from me, by the way. He is like, if you were gonna create a human being, it would be in the silhouette of Virgil van Dijk, not John Terry.
As a player, I believe John Terry was unbelievable in that season, and it was like, I'm not going to say his breakout season, but the first season where you actually saw him as one of the best in the world. But I do believe John Terry's better seasons came later on in his career. I do believe that's one of, but I don't believe that's completely his best one. And Personally, you could make much more of an argument for Ricardo Carvalho, who's much more of the finished product at the time. Probably a bit of a better ball-playing centre-back at the time as well. I could potentially argue go Van Dijk and Carvalho if you really want to do it.
I'm not against that as an idea. I think Carvalho was, and again, it's not necessarily what we're arguing, but I think Carvalho has more of the skill set that would make him a modern Premier League centre-half as well.
So I'd go Carvalho.
So you want Carvalho?
I'd go Carvalho, I really would. I think he's very, very underrated personally.
I mean, I don't know what to do. I've got to put VVD in, right? I've got to give you a counter. I've got to give you a counter each.
I tried to make the debate.
I've definitely got to give you a counter each, right? I've got to give one to you, and I've got to give one to you. Now, the thing is I kind of, it's a bit of a weird one here.
Pleasure.
You actually want Carvalho in there opposed to John Terry. I just don't know if I can allow that.
If we did 14, 15, 09, 010 Chelsea, John Terry goes in full stop.
I don't think...
I think John Terry, the reason why people talk about him so much in that season is because you could see the potential that he was starting to realise at that time. But he didn't get to that point yet. He wasn't there yet.
Okay, if Chelsea fans, I'm giving this to Carvalho. I can't believe I've just said those words, that the centre-back partnership versus Van Dijk and Carvalho, but I'm listening to reason.
People who know football.
And Lewis is a man, he's a Chelsea fan, and he talked a lot of sense today, so I'm going to step back and I'm going to accept your decision on that.
This one's for you, Wayne Bridge.
I have accepted the decision on that. Okay, for me, the most interesting debate actually in the whole team, it's the goalkeeper position. Kind of feel like, I said this before, to me it's almost like you got to choose your nan. It doesn't really matter which one you go for, they're both great. Cech and Alisson. Lewis, I'll let you have the first go on this one. Why Peter Cech?
Petr Cech, first season at Chelsea, also his breakout season at Chelsea. Again, we conceded the least goals to the Premier League that season, and it wasn't just because of the defence and Makelele. Petr Cech played a major part of it. His reaction time, his diving saves, distribution I'm not really sure about compared to Alisson. I could concede that argument. But even in terms of competition, like, people don't take it into account. The guy came in and within 5 games benched Carlo Cudicini, who was one of the best goalkeepers in the league at that time. And after a month or two, it wasn't even a debate. Chelsea fans were questioning it at the time. I view Petr Cech as the best goalkeeper of all time, let alone in that season. So for me, it has to be Petr Cech.
I think Petr Cech's brilliant. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He was a transformative player for Chelsea, exactly the way that Alisson was for Liverpool. I've never seen a goalkeeper as good in one-on-one situations. I've never seen a goalkeeper with the range of passing and distribution that Alisson's got. It is ridiculous. Alisson is just an absolute monster in goal. And it's not just like distribution with his feet, his throwing and all that stuff is excellent. I think if you're holding them up, I think there is nothing between them in terms of how they delivered on that season in real terms, and it's reflected in all the awards they win and all the teams of the year they're voted into. So what it comes down to for me is, do you want your goalkeeper to be able to pass the ball or not? And if you want a goalkeeper who can move the ball and he can play as almost like as an 11th player on the pitch for you, as well as make all the saves and do all those kind of things, then that's what Alisson had more to his game than Petr Cech.
If we're going off what they did in the season, and I'm going to have to kind of say with that, I just think the fact that Cech managed to get Cudicini out of a team, also a ridiculously talented goalkeeper. It's close, and Alisson is a fantastic, fantastic goalkeeper.
Do you like vanilla ice cream?
I do indeed, yeah, I do indeed.
Go.
I've got to do it, okay? I've got to do it, and I know I'm going to get stick for it, and I'll take the stick. And if I went for Alisson, I'd get stick for not choosing Cech. I just want to make that clear. I like Alisson. We've got the left back and right back left. Paul, what side do you want to start on? You can choose whatever you like. Left back, right back.
Doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form because I've got both of these here.
That's why I needed the goalkeeper so much.
Yeah. Let's go Andy Robertson to start at left back.
You're lucky here, really, that you didn't have Ashley Cole, because
this is the big thing. I had a little wobble here when I was trying to prepare for this, because in my head Ashley Cole was in this team, and I went so far as to kind of draw it out, and I was like, oh my word, were they playing 3 at the back? Because there's Cole. How did they fit that in with Gallas? Was Gallas at the third centre half? No. That was Joe Cole, which is hilarious. We've not even mentioned him today. But the fact is, this would be a much closer debate if it was Ashley Cole, and I still think Andy Robertson will come out on top, by the way. But he's up there. He's Ashley Cole is what and was phenomenal, but again, it's an era thing.
And I'll tell you, I'll tell you what I will give you. If we're going on the season, I would give it to Robertson because I think in that year he was the best left back in the world. So I'll give you that. However, ability-wise, I think best Premier League left back ever is Ashley Cole.
And we also take longevity. That's a question for when the things all said and done.
If only he was at Chelsea in 04, 05.
Yeah, we actually have a serious
damn it.
And I would say, again, big up William Gallas. I thought he was, for a centre-back, he fit into the left-back role seamlessly. He was a brilliant defensively minded left-back for us. Still popped in with some goals here and there, but yeah, you can just take it. It's cool. Wayne Bridge, brilliant attacking wing left back as well.
I'll just slide that one. I think we pretty much had that already. It's such a shame we couldn't have had the Cole Robertson debate. I think would have been, and I genuinely think if we're going off the eras, I would have probably had to give it to Robertson because I did feel at the time. Once again, I don't know, Liverpool not at that peak. I think. Lewis, it's going to be a tough one for you here at right back as well.
I don't want Paulo Ferreira to fall under the radar the way people always do because he was so underrated. He was an unbelievable 1v1 defender and I don't think anyone ever gives him the credit that he deserves. But if I'm really going to try and go into an argument with 1920 Trent, which like you said, had the output, was still good defensively even if he wasn't on Ferreira's level and was just otherworldly when it comes to being able to attack from that position. It's a long debate. It is a very long debate. I want to push for Paulo Ferreira as much as possible. I don't think I'm winning that one.
Hey, I'll let you put your case up because you know
brilliant
we don't want to let him walk away with it.
Unbelievable on the right-hand side, and yeah, he did get pushed out of his spot very early into his Chelsea career, which is annoying. It's very annoying, but yeah, it's just he can have that.
It's Ferreira or Glenn Johnson, isn't it? And look, and realise it's not. It's Trent or Trent Alexander-Arnold or Trent Arnold or anything, any mixture of that. It's Trent, the best right back. I think by the time he finishes his career, he might well be known as the best right back to play the game. You know, he's 24 years old this season. If he never improves even fractionally above what he is, the amount of assists this guy gets on a seasonally basis is absurd for what he's doing. We talk about the Makelele role, that will be called the Trent role by the time he's retired, if it's not already. He has totally redefined what a right back, to the point now where everyone wants one. Everyone wants a right back who can do more. No one says right backs have got to defend anymore. Idiots say
well, but can't defend, right? I rate Trent very high.
Sorry, that's nonsense.
Okay, and I'll tell you this. I rate Trent Alexander-Arnold ridiculously highly. Stupidly good footballer, ridiculous crossing, ridiculous passing ability, defensively not good enough. We'll go back to the argument at hand. I think we know that that's going to Trent. And I just think when it comes to England, for example, if you want to go more defensive, you've got Walker, but he plays in the centre-back and it gives Trent that freedom.
Southgate can give him Christmas off to my house.
So here we go, lads. That is the team that we've come up with. Lewis, thoughts? Are you a little bit unhappy about the back line?
I thought I would have been able to sneak two centre-backs in.
15 goals conceded all season.
Yeah, and we only got one centre-back in the back four. But Jose always spoke about how the spine of the team mattered the most and then he would just fit other players around it to help it tick. We have the spine of the team in the middle. I think it emphasises it all perfectly. I still can't believe we got one centre-back in, but it's cool. It's cool. I get it.
I think that's as good a team as we were likely to come together on. I think if you put Firmino, Fabinho and Alisson in that team, it would be unstoppable.
Well, great chat, guys. Thank you very much for coming.
Cheers.
Cheers.